Greetings, St. Gerard parishioners and friends. I know that a lot of you are like me in really having a deep appreciation for the many people that work here at St. Gerard. Our pastoral staff is number one, and they do so many things for you, for me, for the whole parish. They lead the school, they lead our adult faith formation programs, our religious ed programs. They're there to direct the RCIA, to assist with baptisms and weddings and a whole host of other pastoral activities. During this time of the coronavirus, when they're not able to do these programs in the same way they usually do, a lot of them are still working behind the scenes to continue the ministry that's so important to you and to us as a parish. And so we thought that it might be worth our while to have you meet them again as they continue to work for us. And so over the next 2.5 weeks, each of us pastoral staff members will just take a few minutes and reintroduce ourselves, talk about how we ended up here in ministry at St. Gerard, and just offer a word of encouragement and prayer as we together weather this crisis. So look every day for the new person that's going to be introduced. Someone you probably know, but maybe you'll get to know a little bit better. And as you listen to their stories and about the various things they're doing here, especially during this time of the coronavirus, just join me in thanking the Lord that we're blessed with such good people here at St. Gerard. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. As most of you know, my name is Father John Klein, and I've been pastor at St. Gerard Church for the last 22 years. I came here in June of 1998. Previous to that, I'd worked 20 years in the Flint area, the last 18 of which were in inner city parishes, St. Michael's in downtown Flint, and then later for 14 years at St. Agnes Parish on the north side of Flint. I've been really fortunate to be in some wonderful assignments. I love my time in Flint. I've been so blessed to be here at St. Gerard Parish, and I'm grateful to the Lord that He's allowed me as a priest to serve with such wonderful people, including all of you. Some of you are aware that I grew up only 25 miles from here in a little town of Fowler, Michigan. I was the second of 8 children, and one of the things I can say about the home in which I grew up was that anybody potentially interested in joining the religious life or going to the priesthood found encouragement. My mother had a brother who was a Maryknoll priest. He labored more than 40 years in Peru, in the mountains of Peru. And he was always kind of a hero to us. His life sounded adventuresome, but I think beyond that, we always admired his courage and his conviction and his zeal for bringing the gospel to people in a land far away. So I grew up in an environment where if I was thinking that the Lord was calling me to the priesthood, I would find encouragement. And as I began to think about the Lord possibly calling me, and I eventually went to the seminary, I had a lot of good guidance from priests and friends that ultimately led me to discern that God was calling me to the priesthood. And it's been a really good life. I've been fortunate. As I mentioned, I've been in some great parishes, including St. Gerard. And I think one of the things that makes me happiest about my work as a priest has been the privilege, and I really consider it a privilege, to walk with you and people in previous parishes through life's happiest moments and sometimes even to accompany people in their most difficult moments. It's so wonderful to be part of baptisms and first communions and marriages and all of the wonderful things that we celebrate as believers in Jesus. And I think it's especially a privileged moment when we can walk with someone who's hurting, who's in pain, who's suffering or dying, or even with families when they've lost a loved one. To me, that's the great blessing of priesthood, to be able to walk with people on this faith journey, believing every step of the way that God is there with us and for us. So I want to thank you for providing me a wonderful home for me to continue to do something I just love, and that is being a priest and pastor. One of the things I would just ask of one another as we continue to walk through this period of challenge and crisis. It's a difficult time. The thing I miss most is just seeing all of you and being able to enjoy church in the usual way. But when we can't be together physically, we can still be together in prayer and in spirit. And I've been heartened by the number of you who have promised prayers for me and the rest of the staff in the parish. And I want you to know that you are in my daily prayers. It's by practice during this time of sequestration to come here in the chapel every morning with the parish list. You're all on there. And I hold that book up before the Lord in the Eucharist, and I say, Lord, please take care of these precious people. They're precious to you, they're precious to me. Keep them safe and help us weather this storm together. Please know that you're in my prayers, and know I really appreciate your prayers for me. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.